All right, so you all should be able to see me in there. Red, orange, and yellow guy, blue beard.
Yep.
That's because my beard is much cooler than my skin. It also means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame right now. Sorry, fellas, but that's how that works. You already stole my joke, like I said. By the way, bridal party, somebody's laying on the ground laughing their ass off at that joke because they're half drunk. But anyway, so with that, we're looking for the cold spots like Kyle said. They're going to be blue and black. We're always going to have blue and black inside this frame. The reason being, we're going to have windshields and glass and aluminum cans on the ground and the sign that caught some wind. I want those blue and black areas to take shape or to start moving on their own. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. And of course, they're not going to have the red, orange, and yellow on there. They're going to be blue and black. So that's what we've caught in the past. That's hopefully what we're going to capture again. So I love to give you stats about the equipment we're using as well. This guy will capture about 4 to 5 pieces per year that I would put my stamp of approval on that it was indeed paranormal. I have dozens of others that are a possibility, but they're not stamp of approval possibility. And again, that's 4 to 5 a year, not per episode. You guys seeing my point? I know a lot of you guys like to watch the TV shows and YouTubers. I'm not one of those people. We're here to actually find real evidence. That's how this goes. There's also a blue dot bouncing around the screen. The blue dot is there to show you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops out of that. So it's about 70 degrees out here ambient for us. I'll be looking for 55 degrees and colder coming out of that blue dot. And I also want it to move. I don't want it to stand still on a windshield and say we have a ghost. You guys seeing my point? Yep. Perfect. So with this one, Russell, this one's going to go to you. I normally don't hand this to the tallest person, but I already know, like, she already told me a little bit about you, at least the one thing I do need to know. So this is kind of like the high-tech stuff that I want you to play around with. Okay. So I'm going to stop the video at this point. I'll give you the cues for the starts and stops. Yeah, but it went away, didn't it? Yeah, ghosts don't stand still. So if it was from a man-made object like a transformer, it would hover. It would go like 6.5, 7.7, 7.1, 8.2.
Jumped real quick.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
What was it?
Mine's 7.7.
It was like right when I stepped in. Oh, 4.5.
Let me know if it goes above that 7.7.
Alright.
Honestly, it all works here. History of the space, and then we're going to spread out, and I'll do about 2 round robins with everybody to see what's going on with their gear, and then I will regroup you to give you all of the answers, which leads me to, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. I will not be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. You will get the answers from your communicators. That's how this will work. So, where are you? You're in a smelly old parking lot with a big old dumpster in the corner. Congratulations, you made it. I told you, I think you got some weird spots. This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney mansion site. Their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant and came all the way across, and we are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. That's the layout of the land. Who the hell were these people? Eliza and Charles had a...
Maybe they can tell me what happened to the house. Any temperature changes?
No, all the asphalt, the markers are cooler than everything else,
Yeah.
and the rocks. Nothing's in the air.
Tell Russell what happened to the house.
The house is gone. That's what happened to the house. Who owned the house? Who worked on the house?
It was not big. It was.
Something like denim.
That's what I thought.
What was the other one?
William.
William and denim?
Because yours is the hardest, I always wait to talk to you last. So what have you got coming out of that?
William?
Yeah, I
And-
asked who was talking,
Okay.
and it said William. And then he asked who worked on the house, and it said Denim.
Denim?
Denim.
That's funny because we just had the word jeans come out of another device. Although jeans were not a thing during Eliza's time. Like it's something we use the Indigo for now. She wouldn't have never known about it. It's just weird that you both heard something relevant.
I'm sorry, this is the parking lot now, but this is our first chance to talk to you. So if you're talking to this box, we'd appreciate it.
Random stuff I that stood out to me.
Just read the list, I'll cherry pick.
Okay. Almost Black, 37, Sky, $1 billion, Arrow or Narrow, 2 girls, warning us, all the things that I've done, 3 months.
3 months. 37 is very specific, so I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And I don't think it's out there. Number of your specific numbers and E or above, and the lamp was very close to us. Cameras, if you had one, hit those record buttons if you haven't already. You're going to not get footage of our feet. You're going to be pointing it out just like the two gentlemen are down here. I think it should be good over there just by pointing it and going down the alley. If the other tourists come through here, because every tour comes through here, just bring your camera inwards or lower, your feet if you won't mind. Once you get somebody pass by, cut through. You're good, you're good. So just like that, whenever somebody comes through, you'll lower your cameras. We do understand the footage of your feet. So every tour comes down here. I'm going to give you the same history that every tour gives. This is the guy that follows me around. This is the reason why he's still in my route. So here's this story. We all tell it, but I'm going to give you the extra details because we're ghost hunting. That's why I tell it still. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. I say his name slowly because, for those of you with your spirit boxes, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl while we're here, or even on the recording when I get to the office, it's not coincidence, it's part of his name. We get it here all the time.
Okay,
Anyway,
well then I did hear that on the way.
you heard
Brown-eyed girl. I didn't think it would be relevant because
Yep.
it was part of the
That's
song.
right, yep,
Okay.
exactly. Now you get the point of the lyrics. Not surprised. So I'm excited, but not surprised. But anyway, back to Dr. Ladd. He moves here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash that she just got. But the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor, so that way he doesn't take her money. So Dr. Ladd, to prove his point that he's not after her money, he moves here to Charleston. And on his way into town, he had a coachman that set him up to be robbed and killed. By the way, it's like having a really bad Uber driver in today's world. Just like to put things in point of reference. But anyway, somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen to the newcomer because he knew the coachman. But somebody walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to anything else I may have said at this location?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, exactly. So we were getting Rhode Island all the time on RI on regular spirit boxes. I just didn't know who it was relevant to. I bought another device. It acts like a digital Ouija board. That device broke 2 weeks ago, but it's the reason why we bought it was for this location. We wanted to make sure that the RI was legit, and it only showed up with Ralph's name whenever we did get it. Probably about 7 or 8 times in the year that I did have it before I decided to break it. It wasn't on purpose. It was by accident of me trying to fix it. Anyway, moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, "Hey dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them. You'll be safe and good to go." Well, Doc took him up on that offer. And the two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. And Amanda gets wind of this. And she moves down here so they can be married. So, well, he got wind that she was moving down, and Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the damn story. Every haunted city you will ever visit is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. This one just happens to be a doctor. So there is some legitimacy there, but why are we at this location talking about this? This is Philadelphia Alley. We named it that because dueling became illegal and stupid, and Dueler's Alley was the name of this place before Philadelphia Alley, and it was a nickname. So they had to rename it after a city that helped us out in one of our many, many fires, Philadelphia. That's why we're here. That's Remy, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. We are in his house, so he will not bother us. So, if you're afraid of rats. Or if you don't know who the hell Remy is, go watch a Disney movie. But anyway, moving on. So, Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So they go see Richard III one night, and they're walking home, discussing the new actress they just saw. Dr. Ladd thought she was great, and Ralph didn't. They start arguing over this actress, and then Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly, and they went their separate ways. But the next day, Ralph goes to his friends at the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of like you're a disgrace to society kind of shit. Well, Doctor saw this ad, and he rebutted with, "Let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this." Keep in mind, this whole argument started over an actress. Just showing you how dumb shit was back in the 1700s. So anyway, the two gentlemen came down here, back to back, took their 10 paces away from each other. They turned, and Doc points his gun in the air. Shot his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, just needed the courage to show up. But Ralph had his one bullet still. He puts it in the kneecap on the doc. Doc didn't die. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786. We are 1 day away from the anniversary of his death. So, all the ghosts... Well, by the way, he also refused medical treatment. I'm going to point out two things about the last statement I just made. First off, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just said he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out, but obviously he failed because he died. All the ghost stories tell you to listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras running, plus my voice recorder. If we're going to get a whistle, it's going to show up on one of those 4 devices. However, can't tell you how many times I'm spot checking the Spirit Box recording and I get the whistling part of a song and the word doctor immediately after from a commercial. I'm not looking for these things, guys. When I do your spot checks, it's minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. You see the pattern. I'm not looking for it. Whatever stumbles across it, that's where it falls. I just listen to 1 minute at a time. So take that for what it's worth. If you're going to try this on your own and walk all the way through here with the voice recorders from your phone, just remember that every local knows this damn story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here. Even when I drive by this alley, I still throw a whistle down here. It's just tradition. So let's talk about how I got kicked out of here. That's the fun part. You guys have all been waiting for that. So this alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall about halfway between this gate and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this was called Cow Alley before it was Dueler's Alley. So we're going further back in time. This is where they kept the livestock. Cows, goats, and chickens. Why am I telling you this? Those bricks down there by Queen Street is where they started, and over the years they've slowly made it to where we're standing now. Those bricks are older. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there, and fingerprint swipes and others. I know, you guys are all down at bricks here because it does look like the exact same thing. I believe that there are a lot of transferred bricks into this location. They probably tried to mimic the same thing. But that one down there, true to its form, you can actually see the wrinkles in the lines of the hand from that slave child down there. And I used to take my groups down there for a history lesson. Nothing paranormal about it. You guys already know how I feel about cemeteries. That kid is not staring at that brick in the afterlife. November 26th of 2020, I took my entire group down there after telling them about it. And then they all stopped, just like you guys are right now, but they were huddled around the damn brick, waiting for something to happen with the equipment I handed out. I know nothing's going to happen. He's not there. We're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful, not realizing we were out of the life. I don't do Thanksgiving anymore. The next day was the 28th. I called my partner that brought me into tourism, and I told him what happened so I could figure out what to do next. He laughed at me like my daughter did, and he said, "You're only allowed to go down about halfway, dude. You got to reroute your group tonight. I'm sold out. It's Black Friday." So I told my group that night, I don't get into the next story because I'm into vampires, not pirates. I would normally tell you a pirate story next, but I've been kicked out of there too. Talk about that later on. Anyway, so before we left the space, what's the first pirate, by the way? That if I tell you we're going to be discussing real pirates, who do you think of? Blackbeard, right. Well, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them it was going to be Anne Bonny. Yeah. So we get around the corner. I told them what I did know about piracy in Charleston, which wasn't much, by the way, because it wasn't my bag. And somebody else heard the number 300. I didn't know what it meant. I wrote it down. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. I'll pause here and let this go faster.
Excuse us.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We saw you. How's our workplace going on? I haven't heard from you for a while. Anything going on? Pit is weird, but Victory? Okay. That's light, but I'll take it. So yeah, we were there on the exact 300th anniversary of Anne Bonny's trial. Trial for piracy. Some of you guys usually get impressed by that, but I was actually pissed off, which is the reason why I tell the story. So again, I'm not into pirates, and the problem with pirates for me is I do have a master's degree in creative writing and several bachelor degrees in other forms of writing. Whenever I'm giving you guys any kind of data, I like research that can be proven. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. It was written 100 years after the days of Blackbeard and Anne Bonny. That's a problem for me because if you guys found something that could be relevant, I was reading like 3 textbooks to try to verify one small piece of evidence. Bad thing is I came up with this great, fantastic story because I've read more books on pirates, played video games, watched more documentaries. Like I did a lot of research on this, and now I can't tell you the story because now they're monitoring that space to see if it's even in the place of where tours are allowed to go. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I know, super crazy. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up around the corner. We're gonna be testing. I did replace that story with another one that's very commented other ghost tours, but I don't like that story either. So I found a new one. And nobody tells the story anymore. So hopefully what we're going to be doing is we're going to be capturing an apparition. After I tell you the story, we'll get close to the cemetery. All 3 cameras will literally put their cameras right up to the fence of the cemetery, and we'll get maybe about 8 to 10 minutes worth of footage, primarily with Dan's camera, and he's going to be focusing in and out with that flashlight. Hopefully we capture something. It is where we caught that orb, that intelligent piece I was telling you about earlier. This is where we caught it. And I'll tell you why I told the story once we get up around the corner. So remember that... Okay. You look like you got another book ready.
I'm just writing stuff down.
What you got now?
Opera singing, true, biggest one, connecting research, don't, a few months ago, business, mental health, gonna be alright, oh no.
Anything, Jen?
Book and Hebrew.
So we get book and things about writing over there as well. Dr. Ladd.
Book.
Oh, look.
Book.
Dr. Ladd was a poet as well. Super cool to like stare at a cemetery for that thing. Sorry, I get excited about the thermal every time I'm here. Start here.
How much is this? Where?
So the hardware, just the camera itself,
Yeah.
that one runs $400.
Okay.
The phone, I'm using that on a Google Pixel, just because, and there's not many phones that can handle the software for it.
Gotcha.
So that phone, that's a Google Pixel 6, I believe. So you're probably looking at $600-700 just for the phone. So you're probably, about a $1,000 setup. It doesn't work with even the newer phones. Like, it doesn't work with like the newest, latest, greatest thing. Like, it has to have certain things about it.
Right.
What you're wearing records all the sound around you?
Yep.
Okay. You'll hear a whistle at somewhere between 10:25 and 10:30, which was the guy that was walking behind you. So
Okay.
you don't confuse that to a ghost.
Well, this, I don't listen to this.
Okay.
I already have all these stories memorized. I don't need to listen to this every day. Yeah, that thermal comes in handy around the house too. I fixed the dryer with that thing before. I'm trying to find where the leak was at. I also look at that
Roman?
I always That was actually my phone. Clear and went through their charts and whatnot. Stripped it, put everything on the new phone, and it's got nothing on there but the things that I need to run that. Because I use Splice as far as an app goes to put all those little videos together. That one I have to use the Bobby on the computer to get the part out and then go through it. It probably takes the longest to convert it all into one video. Because the SLS is actually run through the Bobby, but it's on an Apple product. So it's super quick. Yeah. This one, that one probably takes, depending on how much footage you get, probably takes just as much time to convert it as much footage as you take. So if you take an hour worth of footage, it takes an hour. Right. So, but I also go back to a 4K. So it's a 5K camera. read this.
Yeah, YouTube. You would think they would, being the primary video resource, right?
Kyle, anything else?
Not really, no. Nothing I can make out.
Okay. Russell, you got anything moving around in there?
But
Besides me.
Michael Jackson beat it.
She's got faded on hers too. Anything faded? Black screen?
I was getting a bigger, like, right there. Time's running out. That song's but I was there for a while. Time's running out.
Time's running out. That's what you just heard. Again, she's not always here. That's the thing, Ghost. I can't make him do anything. Freeze from that page. Sam, you got anything weird?
Not necessarily that I noticed, but if you want to look at my list, you're welcome.
Start reading it again. I'm gonna write that one down.
I don't know what that word was.
That's the only- These guys break on the outside, so they bounce around. They have a little pump button on them, That's just the temperature gauge. I don't have to write yours down. That's the great thing about it. Yeah, I just copy it to my email and then copy and paste it. I think it's fair to say we only got like weird things I need to find on the SLS camera, and I'll kind of try and debunk what's going on. So we'll stay here for just a minute, but go ahead and let's hit the stop on those cameras and kind of read. So are you doing this portion or is Kyle doing it? Okay, so you're gonna need this gearbox. Yep. Up here on the bench, 3 blind mice. Alright, you're gonna be using this guy. Your glasses will not fit in there. So don't put anything on just yet. So, ladies, I'm going to be handing you guys things that are going to cover your eyes. Don't put anything on until we come back. I'm going to take everybody over there for 5 minutes and speak in history. If I blindfold a bunch of pretty ladies on the bench and I walk away, you never look scared. So, just don't put anything on. These are
What was my first experience?
Alright, everybody, let's start blending. How do you say this? Yep, exactly. It's going to go over your ears. I figured there's going to be,
It's so dark over here.
It's a Batman mask.
Wait, that's not how it's supposed to go?
Oh, Batman. Yeah.
It goes like this,
Now
right?
it goes over your ears. Oh,
Yeah. And then a headphone holder in place.
So you
You do rip it out.
Yeah.
I may have recorded that.
Still don't put anything on. Okay. Alright, so a couple of things to remember while we're here. Do not interrupt. If you're too loud, you have neighbors that try not to make them mad and be like the grumpy walking around. Your loved ones, you always do. I know yesterday was a work is being shown. So why don't you
On the loose.
tell us about your work, please?
Liberty, liberty.
She missed a little.
Peace.
There's a gate.
Oh.
The bright light.
Together. And so who prefer. You know, we have
Castle or fortress
And right? What's going on with this castle?
is
in
my
the end?
competition.
By the way, for those of you that can hear me, Dr. Ladd loves to chime in here. His house is right around the corner. His code word is
an
purple.
editing process. Jesus.
If anybody says the word purple or it shows up on our word list, now we know that Dr. Ladd will be here. So the six of you would know what their code word is. Get it.
Brad.
Just the whole place exploded.
Henry, let's get back to your work. What kind of paperwork did you do? Henry,
Chapter 5.
chapter. Did you write a book? Try not to look down. You have the buttons down there. Henry, tell us about your work that's displayed on Halloween. What do we call that? Henry, you can always give us an image of that book.
Other people's bodies. Author. Yeah, I picked that thing up.
Henry? Got author, we got chapter, we got book. Let's talk about the specific page. Can you show us something about that page in the blue box? This is Janet. She can see whatever you want us to see.
That's news.
Okay, what's it look like?
It looks like a gray alien, except it's colored red, and masculinity in America today is more blatant. Gray hair and yellowish hair, flipped around after 67th only. There's colors, it's using eye. There's variety, slackers. There's,
We got an alien.
yeah. They're running underneath cover.
No, we're not scared by this thing.
Okay, Amy, so you're not scared, I'll take it away.
Henry? Join you here with us tonight, Henry. Bring somebody with you? I want to get back to
Sound of frying chicken.
I want to ask you to be more specific about what page was displayed yesterday. Save
Save money.
side, it's two
Car Shield
women.
for almost 20 years.
Both Henry and his son were born in December, but they both died in August. Well, children here, and we have a number. Henry, we are running out of time. Down to about 2.5 minutes. I asked you about your blood book. I asked you to name the blood book. I asked for the name of your wife. I asked all kinds of questions about your
In the
work.
water.
You gave us plenty of little reference for you to show us what you did for a living. I just appreciate it.
42. It'd be a walk in the park.
Henry,
Got a plan for me.
Henry, any last words? Because we're going to have to wrap this up since you're not giving us.
Straight to your email inbox.
Henry. I asked you a lot of questions, very specific questions, with specific answers.
30% off the latest trends.
Last chance to give us any of those answers. Asked about your wife. Asked about your work. And then the last page that you wrote. Which building is being held at? I missed that.
Who does?
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. Can you tell us good night?
Give you.
Can you tell us good night? You can show us good night with a moon going on in the blue box. That would say good night to us.
John.
Henry. Any words coming up on that word?
Indigenous God.
Exhibit annually. His work is shown one day a year annually. Hey, Henry, going once? Going twice?
6 ace. So give me like these.
You're not giving us much.